Government of Gujarat suspended 35 labor laws for a period of 1200 days. Followed by that, Government of Madhya Pradesh too suspended labor laws for another 1000 days. Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath suspended, and due to hue and cry by the working class, he has withdrawn it. That is followed by Goa, Rajasthan and other governments. Even government of Karnataka is trying to suspend labor laws. These labor laws, this is outcome of independence struggle. Before going to that, see our constitution, part 3 as well as part 4. Part 3, article 23, which says trafficking of human labor, paying less than minimum wages are prohibited. Part 4 of the Constitution, Article 43, the workers should be paid wages for comfortable living. 43A says that the workers have a right to participate in the board meeting. There are other articles like Article 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, which speaks about labor rights. See, the Industrial Dispute Act 1947. This is a basic right. Prior to that, Trade Unions Act 1926, right of formation of association, peaceful protest. This is further guaranteed under Article 19 of the Indian Constitution. Then Industrial Dispute Act, that gives a right of collective bargaining, conciliation, negotiation and adjudication for the redressal of labor rights, protecting job, wage and social protection. Factories Act, that provides a better working condition, light, water, canteen, all other facilities. Then comes Minimum Wages Act, Equal Remuneration Act 1976, Contract Labor and Abolition Act, Bonus Act, Gratuity Act, all other acts within the purview of protecting job, wage and social protections. This is the outcome of the entire independent struggle. It is not a one day's affair. Okay. See, the Indian capitalistic class doesn't want any labor protection laws. See, during the year 1980, there were 80% unprotected and 20% protected. Gradually now, out of 50 crore workforce, only 4% have protection, legal protection. 94% of Indian working class are protectionless. 82% of the workforce in the unorganized sector have no legal protection at all. This was 2080, now 4 and 96. See, in the courts and the governance made Indian working class 50 crore workers as 100 crores hands and 100 crore legs. 2001, when Mr. Vajpayee was the Prime Minister of this nation, formed a group of ministers committee and they recommended to employ contract laborers even in core and non-core activities. Followed by that 2001 Steel Authority of India case. Supreme Court of India said that contract labours need not be regularized, followed by 2006 Umadevi case, 2011 Vartak case. Therefore, the government and the courts made the workers rightless. They have no right as citizen, they have no right as a worker, they have no right as a human being. See, when the NDA under the leadership of Narendra Modi, Prime Minister of India, he wanted to make swift labor reforms, rightless workers. Then his government, for first innings, they wanted to convert these 45 laws into 4 codes, denying all labor rights. Now, making use of this COVID 19 pandemic, when workers are not allowed to move freely, these governments, under the instructions of the central government, suspending labor laws. See, making workers to work for 12 hours a day for a paltry sum. Now, what is happening in this country? This migrant laborers. That migrant is a bad concept. Migrant labor. See, Rajasthan, a Marwadi comes here to do money lending business or cloth business. A bank employee comes from same place to Bangalore to work as a bank employee. An advocate comes from far off places to practice in Bangalore. They are not called as migrant advocate or a migrant businessman or a migrant bank employee. Why this manual laborers alone is called as migrant labor means to disown them. Now, migrant labor, initially it was reported that there were about 4 crore migrant labor, and in the parliament it was debated and declared that we have about 14 crore migrant labor. Who are these migrant labor? From where they have come? They have come from Uttar Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, Jharkhand, Madhya Pradesh, part of Rajasthan, West Bengal, and mostly from these places. And it is not migrant labor as such, it is human trafficking. So these A plus, L plus workers who are all agricultural laborers, landless villagers, who have no skill, distress migration, there is no livelihood in the villages because of globalization process, and they are recruited, transported, harbored, transferred, supplied, and ultimately they work for a company, whether it is a Hyundai company or a construction company, Nagarjuna construction company, or a resort, hotel, or hospital. They do not know who is their laborer. See, during British regime, there were employer-employee relationship. The workers are migrant only, or employer-employee relationship. Unless there is a employer and employee relationship, it is very difficult to consider them as the workers with all legitimate rights. Now, nobody knows who is their employer. First, A, B, C, D, E, F. Harboring, transferring, selling, it is human trafficking. Government of India, government of respective states permitted human trafficking. The little law that supported them, Interstate Migrant Labour Act 1979, Contract Regulation and Abolition Act 70, Rule 71. According to that, both the principal employer and the contractor has to register with the Registrar of Trade Unions, Registrar of the labor department. Now these laws are suspended, which means they wanted to have forced labor. They legalize human trafficking. They legalize bonded labor. See, this is the philosophy and ideology of the present government, that the workers have no right. It is a business friendly government. It is a corporate friendly government. It is a Brahmin Baniya friendly government. And it is a government against Dalits, Shudras, minorities, and other communities who are all the working force of this country. According to
Oh, there's mobile. Sound is coming.
okay, maybe someone is calling. I'll switch off. Okay,
There,
switch it off.
it is
How many minutes over?
10 minutes.
10 minutes over. Okay, okay. Where it has come?
I have to see again.
Okay, okay, I will recollect.
Brahman Baniya.
Ah, yes, yes, yes. Yeah, business friendly. So, start.
Okay.
To ease the labor law, to avoid, to prohibit them to form themselves as a trade union, prohibiting them to organize themselves as a trade union, prohibiting them to have a better bargaining for better working and living conditions. These protective laws are being suspended. Government of the after government, mostly BJP ruled governments, at the instruction of the central government. This prima facie indicates that they wanted to convert entire workforce as not the citizens of the country, but just hands and legs to work and die. Thus, India is violating international covenants. India signed at 51st session of the International Labour Organization that they would protect workers with all protective legislation. Now all that is thrown to the winds. Therefore, what is to be noted is, as per Arjun Sen Gupta Committee report, 77% or 83.6 crore Indians are categorized as poor 35%, extremely poor 19%, remaining 44% marginalized and vulnerable. They earn less than 20 a day for their survival. How they live earning less than 20 is a miracle. So 84 crore Indians are starving without food, clothing, shelter, medicine, accessible to safe drinking water, toilets. They live in slums in inhuman conditions. Instead of improving their living and working condition, government is further pushing them back. The history says whenever there is an attack on the working class, they will get unionized. Union only will wipe their tears. Union will fight for their right. If this situation prevails, what has happened in Russia in the year 1917, working class came to power, wiping out entire capitalistic class. That is what has happened in China. That is what has happened in Vietnam. Czechoslovakia, Cuba, and other countries. Remember 1929 and 1930, capitalism was in crisis. That's why John Maynard Keynes' concept of welfare capitalism. That is how the whole world workers have right. Now history is going back. The present BJP government is pushing Indian working class 150 years back. But history will repeat. Workers will get united and defeat the fascists, like how communists defeated Hitler in Germany, like how Mussolini was defeated in Italy, like how Franco was defeated in Spain, like how Pinchot was defeated in Chile, like how American imperialism was kicked out from the soil of Vietnam. That will repeat in India also. Don't challenge working class. Working class is the powerful force in the country. Now you have created 14 crore migrant labor as the army of working class to oppose all your bad policies. History will repeat. We will hit back. Working class will hit back. You will be defeated. Don't challenge working class is the warning on this day.